Hello, I am Helen Knight with Dreamtime Healings, and I am here with wonderful Sarah Wilzbacher. I finally learned how to say her name after a long time. Welcome, Sarah. Where are you located currently?
Thanks, Helen. I appreciate you having the discussion with me today and valuing my experience and my world. I'm in Lander, Wyoming.
Lander, Wyoming.
Mhm.
I have inundated with Sarahs in my world. And so I would be Sarah, Wyoming, Sarah, Minnesota, Sarah, Boulder. Differentiate all these Sarahs. So we got Sarah, Wyoming today, and we're going to talk lots about the divine feminine and womb cosmology and plant medicines and how they all are intertwined in magical ways in the work that I do with men and women, but today it's particularly with women. So Sarah, how did we get connected initially? Do you remember?
I do remember. Um, it's been a year and a half now. I was looking into different opportunities for plant medicine awakenings, and I was looking at a program in Costa Rica, and I had put a down payment
Oh,
into that program. And I went on a walk with my friend Jago in Lander, and I was telling her about my process and the pros and cons, and I wasn't quite sold on the program that I had just put a down payment on. And she said, "Well, I know this delightful woman, Helen, and you happen to be the same person that my sister-in-law in Boulder has raved about and talked about. So I've heard about you." And then when Jago also brought you to mind and shared how she experiences you and her expansion and evolution through knowing you and working with you, I looked into it deeper, and then it was like an immediate yes. So then I
mm-hmm.
canceled that other program because we had met, I want to say it was like the beginning of June last year in 2024. And it wasn't the same ambivalence that I had in the other program I had signed up for,
Yeah,
because we had talked, we had deep connection, and I just felt trust pretty immediately.
yeah,
And then it's been a year and a half of pretty consistent mentorship with you and
yeah,
connection.
yeah. Because we did that ceremony in Boulder in June of last year, and then I can't remember all the details around it, but it was. I remember talking to Sarah, and it was. Um, she wanted to know more about the women's retreat, and then ended up coming to that
Mhm.
and having a big shift and awareness around your womb. Were you connected before you've had three children? Um, were you connected to your womb in any way, shape, or form before coming into the way?
Absolutely not.
Not.
In fact, the word womb was cringy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, what is this womb business? It's like so out there that it's wooey. Can I trust it? I had to just keep looking past the word womb and trusting my connection with you, because of how much like the walls that it would bring up and anxiety and nervousness,
Interesting. I don't think I
isn't
knew
it?
that. Versus, and you're saying womb versus uterus, because uterus was more scientific, is the
I think so. Yeah.
okay, right?
What
And you,
is this womb business that we keep talking about? I keep seeing the words. It felt like, yeah, wooey, right? Like I don't know what they're talking about, but I
right,
have a uterus.
right, right, right,
And
right.
I don't even want to talk about my uterus.
Fast forward a year and a half.
Right? Isn't, and I think about that. I think about the me a year and a half ago that didn't like the word womb, was totally averse to it. And now I think about my womb and have the word womb in my mind every day,
Oh,
and feel the power of it.
Right.
And it was at the women's retreat. And it was all, I can't remember the name of that women's retreat, but womb was definitely in the title. It was like the focus of it, right? So I'm like, just keep looking past the womb. And then I remember the moment that I met my womb in that retreat, and that's when it exploded.
Yeah.
And I remember you saw that moment where I was with
Oh,
my
God.
partner when I saw it for the first time, and then we went into the cacao ceremony where I actually like had an experience with my womb consciousness, and I was like, whoa, where did I just go? Or what is this? And has this always been here? And then I think a large part of our work has been in just exploring that womb consciousness space. Um, and now I'm so proud to have a womb and to have access to that spaciousness, that consciousness, that collective connection with humanity, the world. It's like I see it as a superpower. And
Yes.
so I now lean into the word and the concept versus that aversion to even, yeah, the looking at the word or the concept, the saying it, like how cringy that was.
Wow.
It's so
Wow.
different
All right, I've
where
got
I
two
am now.
questions for you.
Yeah.
And if the first one is, okay, so for like, what is consciousness to you now? Now that you had a
Mhm.
really potent experience at that women's retreat that really opened up another level, and then through the mentorship, continuing more and more. So what is womb consciousness? What is that? What is that to you?
It's such a big question.
I know.
I don't know. And in the moment, as I can feel into it right now, it is this space that I can access that connects me to my higher self and this greater collective consciousness that holds truth and love and like this fundamental okayness.
Mm,
Um, it's separate from my thoughts or my feelings, and it's like a space of deeper knowing.
deeper knowing, but it's separate from the feelings because usually the feelings go hand in hand with the
It's when I say feelings, I mean the feelings that are connected to thoughts, the feelings and the thoughts that keep me spiraled
Oh, okay,
or
got it.
like
Yeah.
attached to my like human condition and human body.
Yeah.
It's like it's separate from a story. And so,
Mm,
yes, feelings and sensations and experiences are a part of it, but it's not the story that my feelings sometimes hold or they're perpetuated by. Um, so more like the truth of feelings, the truth of experience.
mm, mm, beautiful. Um, okay, so with that and knowing that you've got this, I always like to think of our womb as our treasure chest, right? It's right there. We walk all these women walking around it, and none of us are. I wasn't connected to my womb before the plant medicines invited me to start exploring this. Now I feel like I'm doing my PhD in womb cosmology and divine feminine. But you said something earlier. I think you said that you used the word proud, but how is this um, accessing your womb cosmology, your womb wisdom, impacted you walking around as a woman today?
Yeah. Well, the human part of me and the parts that are like hardwired through my patterning in life can easily disconnect from my womb and to not remember that it's there and to be separate from it. And so I say that because it's not like, this magic thing happened and now all of a sudden I'm connected to my womb consciousness. Like you and I and our work together has helped me explore practices and how to remember and be in connection and to go back to it. And so the practicing piece is really key for me because I can have moments, periods of time where I'm back into my patterns that are keeping me small and restricted because I'm not remembering. And when I do remember to go back into that consciousness and have access to that through my practices, um, the way that it changes me is it allows me to lead myself, my family, my career as a nurse from a place of truth, of conscious, of that like greater spacious truth, where we're connected, where everything's okay, where I can trust my intuition. It helps connect me
Mm.
to my intuition. And so
Mm.
instead of thinking about what to do, what to say, how to react, that
All
deeper
the
connection,
masculine.
the masculine, yeah, which
Indeed.
can be really like fast and spirally and
Mhm.
um, chaotic. It gives a more like inner knowing way to respond and to lead,
Mhm.
um, which helps in trusting, trusting myself, trusting the world, slowing down, um, not being reactive.
Mm.
And one of the big things that it's done is help me connect with my sister who died last December, right before we did the mentorship, but in the middle of our working together with ceremony. Um, when she died, I didn't know how to be in connection with her, how to be in relationship with her. And through our work and through understanding the power of womb consciousness, I've been able to connect with my sister. And what a gift that has been to be led by her, to be in relationship with her. Um, because the grief that I've held in this last year has been heavy and it's opened up this well, this cauldron of sorrow and even fear and just this darkness I didn't know existed in me and it kind of uncovered it. Um, and so being connected to my sister has been like I mean, a gift. It's like having an angel that's just that lives with me. And I also think that that womb consciousness helped me get through the grief in ways that didn't um like put it off or to ignore it, avoid it, numb it
Mm. Yep.
completely. I've definitely had moments of numbing and avoiding the grief, but I wonder what it would have been like this last year to not have gone through grief in the way that I did through womb consciousness, through our work, and what patterns would I have developed, what emotional um, states would I have been in and been stuck in, and it was through feeling it in that deeper level of myself and my with my higher self and Abby with me that I was able to do it differently
Mm. Mm.
than I think I would have, than I know that I would have done it.
Wow. And now when you tune, because it's been a year since she passed, when you tune in, can you feel her in your heart
Yeah,
in a peaceful way? The grief
yeah,
might still always
yeah,
be a piece of that, but
yeah.
wow, wow,
And I
beautiful.
don't know if you remember this, Helen, but at the beginning, I was only able to access Abby and even that higher consciousness when I was with you.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we were talking, you were like, okay, now we like have our way of doing it together. How do you start to do it
Right.
outside of me?
Yeah.
Right. So then I started doing it in acupuncture and massage and other body work. Now I'm able to access it just by like closing my eyes and sinking into that space that
Oh,
she can come to me in
yeah.
like,
Huge
yeah, much
goosebumps.
easier,
Yeah.
an easier
Yeah.
pathway.
Yeah. Because that's one of my big things is empowering the people I work with. I am not I'm not the go-to to get the answers. Nope, you. We're gonna get you the healing, the activations, the tools to be able to
Hmm.
access. So that's a huge
Yeah.
celebration. That's a big thing we do too in our work together.
Yeah.
Celebrate. So that's huge. Woo. And going back to that question, like, do you, as a woman, do you feel like the work I'm doing and the way, especially with this divine feminine reclamation work, like I love being a woman. And there
Mm.
are women who come to me that are like, I hate being a woman. It
Yeah.
sucks being a woman in this
Yeah.
patriarchal system,
Yeah.
and that's a big piece of what we're working is bringing that reverence and honor and respect for our own divine feminine, which we've been told to, you know, not connect with, to ignore the feelings, the intuition, our beautiful womb, our sexual energy, all of that. So where are you on that? Where are you with that now? Like when
Yeah.
I see an image of me, like I have my shoulders, my head is high, my shoulders are back. Like I love being a woman.
Yeah.
Where are you with that?
That's drastically shifted through the program and through knowing you. Um, I think I was neutral about being a woman at the best,
Hmm.
but often felt embarrassed of the I think what I have been fed in my life that women are dramatic and
Mm-hmm.
they create conflict, they're erratic, um, they cause problems,
Oh,
and that they're annoying.
oh,
Eh, And
wow.
so
Wow.
I think that's always been carried with me. Don't be dramatic, don't be erratic, don't be. And then sometimes it's like,
Don't be
fine, be a
you.
woman. Right, just don't be any of it. And a couple of the really big shifts in that, I mean, I guess everything is a thread that's built on each other to get where I am now. But one of the pieces was our very first session together in the mentorship program where we were talking about cycles.
Mhm.
And I was sharing how I'm neutral about my cycle and that I don't have PMS symptoms that I'm aware of, that I don't have pain during bleeding. It's more of like a pain in the ass to manage bleeding, but I'm kind of like neutral. I just show up and my body just does what it does and I like go with it. And you encouraged me to start tracking my cycle. So I read Wild Power, and it's not just tracking the days, but learning about the flow of hormones, emotions, um, spiritual, psychological states that ebb and flow through the cycle. And as I learned about this and read the book, my whole idea of the cycle and being a woman just blew apart. And I was like, oh my God, this is a superpower that right? That we
Yeah.
flow. And so me being neutral was partly because I think I was told that women should be neutral to be good, to be okay, to not be erratic, to not be emotional. So just like keep your shit together and be flat or excited or happy the whole time. And so, as I was learning about all the different seasons and phases and what they're for, and the value in spiritual growth and in contribution to society, like how those cycles and states actually feed healthy societal growth and relationships, then I started seeing more how my flowing states did exist, and that when I leaned into them, they created uh, like power states in the different
Mm-hmm.
seasons. Like each season has a purpose and a power and something that it has to offer. And so by being neutral, it's like denying myself the power of the different cycle states. And
Awesome.
so now my cycle is I work with it in a way to harness the power and the beauty of the cycle, which I was neutral or even grossed out about bleeding. Like when I would use a tampon, I would bring it out and it's like, ugh. And now I have reverence for the whole cycle. And when I bleed, um, it's this gift because it's like heightened power that we have. It's like when for me, it's when I'm the most intuitive and like have access to deeper power of consciousness levels. And so I get excited about bleeding, which is weird. I was talking to a friend who was reflecting that they were going to bleed during this like inopportune time, right? Like during the holidays. And I'm like, you get to bleed during Christmas, right? But she's like, oh, I've got to bleed during Christmas, right? Like it's just annoying. Um, and then you encouraged me to use the cup, the
Mhm.
Diva cup, which is was not even in my like realm of thinking,
Do you
and
remember
it's
why I
just
suggested that?
to see my blood and to then use my blood to like put in plants and to
Make as an offering. Yeah.
offer, yeah,
The sacred, because again, you've beautifully expressed it, but yeah, the we have that's been part of the demonization of being a woman is you're gross when you have your period. And
yeah,
it's nothing. That blood was going has stem cells in it. It was
yeah,
going to make a baby. There is it's so sacred. And so when you collect your blood,
yeah,
and then make it as an offering. You make it, the plants love it, or just give it to Mother Earth,
which I
or
will get there at some point, and I have not gotten there yet.
what, giving it to
So
your
I'm not
plants?
feeding it to my plants yet. Someday I'm gonna be your Helen's gonna be on my shoulder when I'm in the bathroom and I'm be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But the really magnificent change that just happened is when I see my blood in the cup, I have this like heart opening of love and beauty for it.
Mm,
I'm like, look how beautiful that blood is, which is such a different experience than seeing it in like a tampon and like trying to hide it and, wrap it, put it away, which is just such a warm and inviting experience
yeah, yeah. And
at that
has
time.
this shifted anything with your dynamics with your children and your husband, with your cycle?
I
Because,
talk more about my cycle with my husband. Um, I would say sometimes with my kids, like I'm more open to talk about bleeding.
okay,
Um,
they know when you have your moon cycle?
Jeremy does, and I talk about it. My kids maybe sometimes, maybe not.
Okay.
And it's less from a like negative perspective, like I'm a situation, I'm a scene right now, I'm on my period, that kind of cultural
Mm-hmm.
negativity that we have,
Right,
like
right.
in more reverent or like it's something special, or maybe I'm doing something different. I'm taking more time for self-care and to relax and talk about it from that point of view.
Yeah, love it. Love, love, love. Um, And the other area, which has just one of the things that I love about ceremony and the mentorship's one-on-one, but we also, there's a community for all the ladies that are in mentorship, is how we learn from each other, how when one is working with something, it often shows up for others, or we just, the alchemy. This is a big thing with women's work, the alchemy that just happens. Um, and you discovered a book called Masculine in Relationship. And that has almost revolutionized. I mean, it was very eye-opening for me. It gave me words that I didn't had feelings since, I had an awareness around it, but I didn't have words for it. And you found this book. Do you want to speak to how that has shifted things for you?
Yeah, that's the other piece that happened, the significant piece of feeling a little stronger, standing taller in my body as a woman. So that one piece was the cycle and learning about the flow. The other was reading that book and um, hearing how women are supposed to be fluid and flowing and changing in their emotional state, and that it's a job of the masculine to hold that without needing it to change, to be an anchor for it, and to allow the tornado or the whirlwind or the flowing ocean to do its thing while it just has its back. Or, it's stabilizing it, or it's not moving and shifting too. It's kind of the backbone for everything to flow. And when I learned that, um, it was validating, and it gave me permission that I could also be a female in the masculine presence. And in fact, the masculine presence will allow me to engage and flow even more in my feminine. It creates safety, protection, permission to do that. And so those two pieces of the cycle and the feminine piece of that we hold naturally, and then the masculine's um, role in giving space for that, are the strongest pieces for me that have helped me actually surrender into the feminine, but also like hold it as power, reverence, strength, and be proud of it versus that shame of the story that I had, that the erratic flow emotions of women is um, ugly and bad.
Beautiful, beautifully, beautifully expressed. And for those listening, it's this is the work like we're doing. I'm doing the women's work over here. I do work with men as well, and in co-ed ceremonies, but it's the men have been influenced by this. I call it the false patriarchy. In one of the big things is they have been emasculated, and so there's an invitation as what I'm observing is with the women in that work with me, they start changing, and then the partner's asked to start doing his work so that he can step into healthy masculine. Because a lot of just like we're in the unhealthy feminine, they're in unhealthy masculine. And so they got to do their work in their way, men's work. Get together with a man and do that men's work in the way that they do it, and then that provides that strong, like the masculine is that container, as you so beautifully said, container for our big emotions. We are women. We are always going to have big emotions. They are, and that's a big piece. Is like welcoming that, yeah, and then the masculine holding that, and then another piece is leadership, is allowing men to be in healthy, not controlling, which is what we've been modeled. So we're
Mhm.
just like, don't want that, right? But healthy, where, women and children feel safe in their
Mhm.
presence because they're in solid, healthy leadership. And again, that's the work they have to do. And then those that are not in partnership, right? We also, we did this, Sarah, working with our own inner masculine because we got half of us feminine, half of us masculine, and bringing in um, those containers and the structure and the action and all those things with the inner masculine. But it's it's been revolutionary. Like that book and you discovering that has just been impactful for so many ladies to say. It gave me words that I didn't have before. I know.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And I
Okay.
think that the evolution of the cycle, learning about the feminine, leaning into it through womb consciousness, discovering the power of the cycle, and then those pieces of masculine leadership holding the feminine and what it feels like when that's not there, that masculine, has allowed me to work with shame that I've been holding so deeply in
Mm.
my body, in my psyche, in my mental spiraling, that's just been um, it's been building up over time. We've called it shame mold, you and I. Like my whole body's covered in shame mold. And so as I'm discovering the feminine and what that means and its power and its softness and its intuition, its grace, the whole realm of it, and then how the masculine impacts that so much in the dance that it does. Um, I've been able to release a
Mm.
lot of
Oh my
the shame
gosh.
mold that's stuck in me and then the shame patterning that I just do. Um, and then we've called the antidote to that uh, love moss, right? Self-love moss, and how um, just learning to not, I've been taking responsibility for so much of how do I keep it together? What's wrong with me? Why am I creating these patterns in myself? And why am I creating these patterns in myself through my relationship with my partner, through my relationship with other people? And I think what it's come down to, and maybe this is too simple, I don't know, is this unhealthy feminine and unhealthy masculine, where
Okay.
I've tried to hide so much of who I am, how I feel, what I think. And then also the emasculated male or the unhealthy male has perpetuated that, not meaning to, not
Right.
consciously, but both of the unhealthy feminine and masculine have created this shame mold over time that I now am able to start releasing and creating a different experience for myself. I still have the old patterns that I want to go back into, but I'm catching them now.
Yeah, you got the
Like,
awareness.
this is familiar and it's comfortable,
Yeah.
but is it working? And what else is possible to create a new experience
Oh,
for myself?
so huge. Such a celebration.
Yeah.
Woo! Wow, Sarah. This has just been amazing chatting with you. Is there anything else that you want to add to our time together? Anything else that I feel like we've covered the biggies. Is there anything else?
The other thing I think I want to share gratitude with you for that has been so essential is how you lead through non-judgment and not having an agenda of an outcome,
Mm,
right? You celebrate, you build up, you are a truth seer, right? You're not afraid to share what you see. But ultimately, why I've been able to surrender to your mentorship and to allow you to lead is I've never felt like I'm doing something wrong, that
mm,
I'm failing, that there's something broken in me, that I should be something else to be okay, to be enough, that there's an end goal that will make me unbroken or whole. And maybe I don't know if that's masculine or feminine, how you bring in that safety, and maybe that doesn't matter, but I just think how different my outcomes would have been through my time with you if I felt a pressure that I had to solve a problem or be something different, or that I just couldn't be honest or my whole true messy self with you. And that I think is one of the biggest risks for me in engaging with a new provider in an intimate way. Am I going to be received? Am I going to be loved? Is it okay to be who I am, to come with what I bring? What do I have to filter? What can I say? What can I not say? But right, like there's so many worries that someone can't hand for me, that someone can't handle all of me, or that I'm going to have more shame. I go to shame. And so the gratitude that I hold is the experience of love and acceptance that you have provided for all of what I've brought to the table. And I didn't feel like I had to be someone that I wasn't,
mm.
be good enough in our relationship.
Wow. And it just brought more and more of the beautiful Sarah.
Yeah,
More and
a
more.
lesson.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank
Mm.
you fully receiving that. And as I always share, because receiving is a big feminine action.
Hmm.
And most of us are really bad at receiving. And so I say, receive it and let it be like gold stars sprinkling through you and
Yeah.
filling up your womb. And so I'm receiving that. Thank you.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it.
And how are you with receiving now? Well, that'll be my last question. Are you better at receiving?
I'm way better at receiving. Yep. It's been, I've often focused on the value of humility, selflessness, not wanting to boast. Like those are the things that have pr- that have been a part of resisting a compliment. And I'm definitely changing that, saying thank you more.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing, or like I'm receiving that, or I'm working to receive that. I'm catching how much my default is to just deflect, to not believe someone, or to reject what they have to say about me.
Hmm. And that's changing. Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just going to celebrate you a little bit more because also for those listening, Sarah has created an amazing template of, how would you call it? Conscious dying or reverent dying? How do you put it? What
I
would you?
don't put it in any certain way. I value the trajectory of aging and dying, and for creating a new model of care in our culture where um, intentional decisions are made in aging and dying. So
Aging,
many intentional aging and dying. I don't know.
intentional
I'll
aging and
try to,
dying.
I'll come up with a phrase to make it easier to explain.
And it's just so beautiful keeping people at home as they're getting ready to transition, being surrounded by loved ones instead of, avoiding the nursing homes and the memory care. And it's just, it blew me away when I first learned about this. And you've got it going on in Lander, Wyoming, and it's just, we need more of that. So I hope your your modeling spreads and that feminine essence, like the caring, because it's that's a deep part of the not that the masculine again, not gender oriented, but the divine feminine. Really, it's that the caring, the love, the nurturing, and you're
Yeah,
bringing it through. As a
so
couple of us
important.
say that know what Sarah's doing is we want her by our deathbed, making sure
Mhm.
she's
Right? And some of the most important pieces are long before we're on our deathbed,
yeah.
having conversations about what we want and creating a team that knows what we want and helping us get there. Because you can't die the way you want to die if you're not talking about it and proactively creating that, putting that together. So it's even less about where you are when you die, but more that you've had conversations and you're creating intentional choices. That lead to your goals for end of life and aging.
Yeah, she's helped me huge. It's just yeah. I mean, those are the great questions to ask, and yeah, it's just opened my world up around there. So, thank you, Sarah, for the beautiful work you're doing as well.
And you're doing a good job preparing for your aging and your death. Good
Thank
job.
you. All right, we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining me today and sharing from your heart and from your womb.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, celebrating me, and to giving me new tools to be a brighter, um, more fulfilled human.
Mm,
I appreciate it.
thank you. Thank you.